Hey guys, welcome. You're listening to Modern Era Fitness Podcast, where we talk about health and safety in the modern age.
Today's age.
Today's age. In the modern age. The modern era.
Of fitness.
Of fitness. My name is Mike. I'm a personal trainer.
And I'm Caleb, a martial arts instructor.
And we've had too much coffee today.
Yeah.
We just got done, both of us, working out and doing our thing for the day. It's Saturday morning, and I did some deadlifts, and Caleb caught up on some biceps. But yeah, we were both on a lot of caffeine right now, so this is going to be a wild ride.
Yeah. Buckle in, folks.
Yeah. But before it gets started, let's catch up.
Yeah.
So last week we had
we've had like a busy week or two.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to see colors.
Yeah. Is that sure you just had coffee, or is there something extra in there?
Oh, it's just coffee, but I had pre-workout.
We do live
Like
in a color, world.
That's true.
That's got to be a song.
But I'm normally colorblind. That's the frightening thing.
No way.
No, I'm not. Okay, anyway, so we've had a lot going on, I feel like, recently.
Yeah.
How was I want to know first,
Huh?
how was your orientation at Four Corners?
Oh, Four Corners Rod and Gun Club.
Yeah.
It was very interesting.
In a good way?
I don't know. I don't know. I was the youngest person there by far. I was the only person there under 50.
Okay.
There was nobody there shooting, which is really weird.
For those of you that don't know, Four Corners is a shooting place.
Yes.
A place where shooting happens.
Yeah. It's a
shooting house.
Gun range. Not a
Oh,
shooting
sure,
house.
if you want to use
Not a shooting
the
house.
technical term. I'll just call it a shooting house.
A bang bang club.
Yeah. Wait.
Maybe not.
No.
Okay. So, I started there. It was my birthday present from
Happy
my wife.
birthday.
Thank you. And so, yeah, that's going to be up and running, and that's going to be fun. Good choice. Caleb went to pick up his coffee, and he's like, I'll put it back down. So what about you? What's new with you?
What is new with me?
How are your students? Are they still kicking butt?
Yeah.
You just
yeah,
had a
they're
belt
doing great.
promotion?
Yeah, belt promotion went fantastic.
I heard it was kind of brutal.
Yeah. We have a father-daughter combo in our class,
Oh, man.
and it's a lot of fun.
Let me guess. They finally got the chance to kick the living crap out of each other.
Yep.
And have it just be, hey, just part of the class. And
Yep.
Love you, daughter. Oh,
Yep,
ma'am.
Yep. And the daughter, I think she's 14,
Uh-huh.
just clocked her dad
No.
in the jaw. Hit him on the chin pretty good. He was feeling it pretty good. And then later in the promotion, he got an elbow to the jaw.
Oh, my gosh.
So by the end of it, he was feeling pretty good. And I think
Yeah.
she ended up getting a bloody lip and stuff.
Dude.
So
So-
if you're interested in joining our class,
Yeah, it's not a foo-foo class, and it's not a foo-foo school.
No,
And
I
I can attest to that.
I say it frequently in class when we're working on stuff that this isn't a knitting class. What you signed up for is not a knitting class. So
What do you mean by that?
we don't just sit around and not do things that are dangerous.
Oh,
You know what I mean? It's not a no risk
yeah.
class.
It's going to be uncomfortable, and you might get hit.
Yep.
I like that. I don't like getting hit, but I like that.
Yeah. But everyone passed, and the progress that I've seen in them is fantastic. And it was the father-daughter, it was their first promotion, so they didn't know what to expect, and they did really well.
How does somebody get promoted? Do they have to come to class for like a certain amount of months or like
Well,
a year?
there's a minimum amount of class time, so generally it's 2 to 3 months of steady class, and they have to have certain material, and beyond that it's different for every belt. Like there's certain things that we're looking for at different belts.
Is it 2 to 3 months in between each belt?
At least, yeah.
At
Yeah.
least, okay.
Yeah. And just because you've been coming to class doesn't mean that you can promote.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? We don't just, it's not a participation award kind of a thing, you know.
Oh, okay. Or not a dollar amount. Like, hey, congratulations.
Yeah,
You've been here for...
You've paid me for 3 months of classes.
Yeah,
You
here's
can
your
get
next
a
belt. Keep
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah. So we've got criteria, and the minimum requirements are time and knowing the material.
Yeah.
I say minimum because you have to be working beyond that. if that makes sense.
That does make sense.
Yeah. So they did that, and they worked really hard, and they left it all out on the mat, so to speak, and they did fantastic. And we had a guest instructor sitting on the board, Sifu Kirk Farnsworth. Shout out to him. He's awesome. You've met him.
Yeah, I like her.
Yeah, he's a great instructor, great friend, great martial artist. And
So you actually have a board promotion system. So
yeah,
it's not.
It's kind of quality control to make sure that I'm not just awarding belts in this art.
Yeah, congratulations. Here you go.
Yeah. And it's also a way for other instructors to kind of invest in our school too. My friends Sifu Nick and Sifu Kirk, when they come down, it's because they're excited about the group. They like the group, and they want to put their own mana, to use a Hawaiian term, into it, like energy.
Yeah.
And it benefits us a lot having other people influence.
Well, that really kind of mirrors
Not just me.
Yeah, totally. And that kind of mirrors, or not kind of, but it really does mirror an actual family tree.
Yeah.
Of investing and just straight up giving.
Yeah.
Up both ways, up and down the tree.
Exactly.
We you have the tree here, right?
Yeah, the
one
family
right out
tree.
there?
It's we need a newer version. I think that one was 2006, 2007. So
is that something that we can post and show? Just how extensive it is, or is that?
Sure. Yeah, there's actually one online somewhere, an image of it, but it's really hard. You can't scroll in enough to see the names because it's so big.
Yeah.
But I think it's
extremely extensive.
Yeah, one of the grandmasters, when the art kind of started, decided he would keep track of everything.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if he's still. Yeah, it's a full-time job, and I don't know if he realized how big of a job it was going to be, which is good. It means the art is growing.
Yeah.
Might
have to be condensed a little bit. I remember one time I was here, and you were like, "Hey, I need to get a name off the tree," and you texted me or called me like, "Hey, look for this name. It's in this quadrant of the tree. Can you find it?" And I spent 20 minutes and I couldn't find it.
Oh man, that's a lot.
Yeah, we'll post it. And one thing we're starting to do, and Caleb doesn't know this, but we're gonna start doing a little more extensive show notes.
Oh,
and I'm taking that on.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to send it to me.
Yeah.
And then I'll post them.
Because Caleb does all of our recording and editing and post-production, everything. So it's time for me to step in and help out a little bit.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah. So Modern Era Fitness Podcast is plugged into hoodsmartialartsacademy.com.
Oh, yeah.
So that's where you can go and check it out.
hoodsmaa.com.
hoodsmaa.com.
Yeah.
That's where you can find it.
Yep. So let's see. We had promotion. You had your orientation and birthday.
I had my birthday. Yes. It was very nice.
What else?
Salem Defense Pistol is the website. And we're starting to just put our fingers out there, our feelers out there.
Our trigger fingers
out there to get a feel for, who wants to take our beginner course and move from there. And we're working on getting certified to issue concealed carry permits.
Yeah.
Or the training for concealed carry permits, which you actually have to get from Marion County Sheriff's Office.
Yeah, after taking a safety course like the one that that will be here.
Yep.
That is very exciting. And Mike, you've been doing a lot of work on that, and that looks really good.
Yes, I have. And we're diving into the finer points. It's not just going to be like, oh, this is a pistol, this is a gun, this is how they work, this is how to safely do it. Here you go. Get out of here. We're gonna dive in, because there's a lot of on the surface stuff out there, and there's not a lot of quality digging deep.
I feel like some people are just interested in getting as many people a concealed carry license as possible, and not really focusing on the quality.
Yeah, and
this is safety.
This is not going to be that. This is not going to be a one day in the class and one day on the range. This is going to be a few days
of each. Yeah.
Yeah, of each. So yeah.
Stay
tuned for that. And if you're interested, go to salemdefensepistol.com, sign up on the form, and let us know what your thoughts are, and then we'll keep you in touch.
This is really plug heavy. I've got another plug.
Yeah, go ahead. Go for it. I think this is all good information.
Yeah. So if you're in the Salem area, October 15th, we're going to be having a women's self-defense seminar here with instructor Kim White. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be very straightforward, stuff that you can remember. If you're interested in that, go to hoodsmaa.com, and there's a giant button that says Women's Self-Defense Seminar. You click that, and you can enroll. It's going to be 3 hours, October 15th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. We've got limited spots, so make sure if you're interested in it, don't kind of wait till the last minute because it might be closed by then. So
is there a sign-up period specifically, or is it just, hey, we might close it off early if it signs up really quick, or if people sign up really quick?
What's your question? Say that again.
Is there going to be like an enrollment period? Like, do people have until a specific
We're
date?
waiting until it's populated. Like,
Gotcha.
Yeah. We'll wait until it's...
So it behooves people to sign up quickly.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it, folks. These are all things that we're excited about.
Yeah, it's fun.
So what are we talking about today?
Well, I think we got an email from a listener.
So this particular listener asks, I would love to hear you discuss traits that successful people have. What groundwork has to be established to be successful, and what qualities must be possessed? This would be a great topic of interest to me. That's also in the email.
Yeah. Probably don't need to read.
Keep up the good
verbatim.
work. Super proud of you both for sharing your knowledge to help people. Thank you. Signed, listener. So what do you think? I have no idea.
I guess we got to start somewhere. Let's see. So I'm going to define success in relation to what I do. So let's say it's black belt.
Yes.
People who succeed and achieve that goal, a common trait that I see is, I think I'm just going to pick one, and not necessarily the most important one, but just one of the qualities. And I would kind of phrase it as a willingness to put the time in, like the hard work. You can call that discipline, willpower. They have the goal, right? And they show up and they do the work. That's not all it takes to get a black belt, but that's darn near the hardest part, is just continuing, because it gets hard along the way. It's not easy to get a black belt. Well, at our place, it's not easy to get a black belt.
Because you can go to Walmart and get a black belt
yeah,
right
you can
now.
order one if you want on Amazon.
One-click buy.
Yeah, and some schools are different in the way that they award a black belt. But, it takes a lot of heart and a lot of hard work. And so I think that's where I would start, is just willingness to put the time in, even when it gets uncomfortable and it gets ugly at times,
Yeah.
I mean, like the father-daughter team that I mentioned earlier, after they got bruised up and bloodied, they had fantastic attitudes, and they were there the next week for classes. They didn't let it scare them. They realized that it's part of the process, part of the journey.
Yeah.
And they're still willing to do that, So I think that's where I start.
I like it.
How about you? Give me one.
A trait?
Yeah.
I think a trait of successful people is they have ownership of what they're up to, and not just what their goal is.
What do you mean ownership of what they're up to?
They own the way they live, and they own their situation.
Like they're in charge of it?
Yes. Not necessarily in charge of it, but like they take responsibility for where they're at and how and how they do things.
And not blaming external for any failures.
Right. Or failures, or just where they're at. Like, I'm 100 pounds over because of my
job.
Yeah,
like it's my job's fault that I'm not healthy.
Yeah.
Because I sit at a desk all day.
Right.
That doesn't help, but there are lots of things you can do, decisions you can make.
Well, yeah, and there's so many things that factor into where we're at right now. Like the fact that we're in the United States and, not in a third world country, we have the resources to work on fitness.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. We have options available to us that other people don't have.
Yeah.
Opportunities.
Yeah. But even so, taking the ownership of wherever you're at, just owning it and moving forward from there, and not focusing on the things that you can't change, but focusing on the things that you can. Because it does you no good to focus on the things that you can't change. It's like, oh, woe is me. These are the genes I got. Oh, well.
Yeah. Oh, Good.
Bazing.
Yeah, that's good. So I want to point out what he said. He said, these are the genes I got. And he's not talking about 501s.
No, they're...
He's talking about mom and pa, what they gave you.
Yeah.
People seem to think, my genes made me overweight, or my genes make me less athletic, or, whatever. And they're finding now that genes can be, to simplify it, can be turned off and turned on. Based off of habit. So whereas before everyone assumed that genes were genes and you are your genes.
Mm-hmm.
But
so if you got a good pair of jeans that fit, like if you just wash them, like even in cold water especially, like every day, then they're going to fit a lot better.
Yeah. Thanks for undoing everything I was trying to explain.
No problem, Bob.
Going back to the 501s.
One other thing that I think that successful people do is they kind of separate their thoughts and behaviors, and they are cognizant of how they think about things, and they're paying attention to how they frame where they are.
Mm.
It kind of goes along the lines of how they take ownership of where they are. They focus on intentionally having a positive outlook.
Yeah.
And telling themselves that they can, even if they don't know that they can.
Yeah.
And just being very deliberate about their self-talk and their internal habits.
Yeah.
I think that's huge.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's kind of like a combination of Spock and Kirk.
Yeah. Spock and Kirk are the same person.
The yin and the yang of the same.
Yeah.
We've got logic, and then we've got the humanity, the feeling side of things. So
weaving the two.
Yeah, and so if you can logically or objectively pull yourself out of the emotion and realize, okay, let's think about this realistically.
Yeah.
And not just get caught up in my emotion and maybe I'm feeling down or disappointed in myself for eating that half a dozen donuts or whatever.
Right, yeah. Or telling yourself, like, let's say you have like a 30-day challenge of, I'm just going to lose 5 pounds, start small, and I have all these plans and stuff. And then at the end of the 30 days, or let's say you're on day 25, then you get on the scale and you've gained 5 pounds, and you're just like, oh, man. And I think that a lot of people listening have been there, where they've tried that, and they've actually moved in the opposite direction. And at that point, it's really easy to have negative self-talk and be like, well, I'm just never going to, things aren't going right, I give up.
Yeah.
And this isn't going to work for me. Whereas, owning up to it and really feeding yourself that positive self-talk, you're like, okay, I know that this doesn't work. Let's find out why it didn't work. And I know I can do it. And moving on from there.
Yeah.
And kind of separating those thoughts and your actions.
Yeah. I like that. I'd have to say another one from my arena is humility.
Yeah.
Because, and I think this plays into yours too, your realm, especially with boot camps and things like that, or even your one-on-one personal training, the humility aspect, because you are going to do things wrong. You're going to get ugly in front of someone,
Oh, yeah.
And you just have to be willing to eat crow, as they say. Be willing to be okay with making mistakes.
Yes.
And learn from those mistakes and try to not repeat them. You know what I mean? Or at least not in the same way.
Yeah, to improve slowly.
Yeah, because the way I see it is, promotions are a prime example, or belt promotions are a prime example of that, because your nerves and anxiety are heightened in a promotion because it's one of the few times where nobody else is on the mat, you're the only one performing, and everybody's watching you. And you're being graded, so to speak. You're going to mess up.
Yeah.
And it's okay. You're not expected to be some perfect human being with perfect performance all the time, and you have to accept that and be okay with that. I feel like it's a little, I don't want to make it sound sexual, but it's a little more intimate with your personal training because it's a one-on-one all the time.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? And so I think that's where a good instructor and a good personal trainer come into play, because they will help you not feel like you're being judged.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But they're alongside and helping. You know what I mean? So if you see somebody do a horrible lift or a horrible form repeatedly, like they just are having a hard time getting the right form down, You don't make them feel dumb.
Right.
I know that sounds kind of like a no-brainer, but
Well, it sounds like a
that's
no-brainer.
what people fear when they're trying something new. You know what I mean?
It's a no-brainer when you talk about it, but when you see it in action, it even looks like, oh, that's a no-brainer. But it's actually very deliberate. Like if somebody does a lift improperly, I'm gonna be like, hey, you just messed that up. Do this instead.
Yeah.
Don't do it wrong like you just did.
Yeah.
If they do a lift improperly, I'm gonna point out what they did right.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say, like, okay, now let's try this, and now let's improve a little bit.
Like, you know what would make it better?
Bingo.
X.
Yeah, and it really does matter how you phrase it, because it takes a lot of guts to come into personal training and to, have that step of saying, okay, I want outside help.
Yeah, and we got kind of off on a little tangent about what we as instructors and teachers and stuff do, but it's really... it's important, I think, for everybody else to know the other side of the coin. So
yeah,
while I feel like people going through the ranks or working on their exercise with you, they should be aware that humility is necessary for them. But if they have a good instructor or whatever, that side of the coin is they're coming at it with love and respect and support. And so you shouldn't... that should help the humility piece, I feel like.
Absolutely.
Be a little bit more palatable for somebody who's maybe nervous or scared for trying something.
Yeah. I think that kind of ties, what we were just talking about kind of ties into not being afraid to fail. I mean, having that humility and not being afraid to fail.
Yeah.
I think those two tie into each other really well. And that just kind of also blends into courage. If you're not afraid to fail, then, that you're obviously displaying courage. Or just realizing that, like, hey, failures don't mean too much. You know what I mean? Like, I think in our culture, and I have a blog post about this, I think, about not being afraid to fail and just trying something. And if your mindset is like, well, this might work. If it doesn't work, no big deal. If it does work, cool. Yeah. And chances are, if it fails, you're not going to be any worse off in any way. You know?
That reminds me of, who Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson is?
Who dat?
He is an astrophysicist. You probably recognize him. He was the one that he hosted the remake of The Cosmos.
I know who Neil is.
Okay. Oh, so you guys go way back. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Neil.
Oh, Neil.
Yeah.
Kickball.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fucking
Neil.
Anyway, I think it's really interesting and really appropriate, kind of a better way to frame quote unquote failure or getting something wrong. What he does is he takes it as, oh, now I know something I didn't know before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That you kind of have to treat failure as part of the learning process.
I get it.
You know what I mean?
Like a scientist and a hypothesis.
Yeah. So you get something wrong, you take that as kind of a win because, oh, I just gained a new piece of knowledge.
Now you're better for it.
Yeah.
Cool.
And failure, if it wasn't framed in a way like we do here in America of it's your fault that something didn't work, that kind of a thing.
If we didn't have the cultural norm of perfection and everything's got to be perfect all the time right off the bat.
Yeah, people would be more willing to take risks.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's where I was going. People would be willing to take more risks, and we would have better things, more success.
Yeah.
Because of the more chances you take, naturally.
We would have, I think we would have more things like SpaceX, and we would have more things like experimental small businesses that open up new doors that have never been done before.
Yeah.
Because I know there's ideas out there that have never been done before. People are just like, well, I don't know how to run a small business, so I'm not even going to start.
I don't want to fail and then disappoint my family.
Bingo.
And I've heard that the people who start businesses and are the most successful are the ones that are risk takers, not risk adverse. You know, because they're willing to, even if they've started 3 businesses already and they've all failed, they're willing to take that risk, and they're the ones that always end up finding the thing that works and then just making bank.
Trump.
Oh, well, he's still failing, in my opinion.
Hey, me too. But
in life,
if you're looking at strictly like money wise, then
yeah, that's true. He's bankrupted several times, and he's now, I'm sure, richer than Never.
Richer than me. Probably.
But not in love.
Not in love. I got the fam.
Yep.
I got Caleb.
Yep.
I got my weights.
Yep. What more do you need?
Got my tub of Prote out there.
Yeah.
Prote means protein for all you non-Prote
you
eaters.
Yeah.
I had a pro tip. Oh, I forget it. Oh, idiot! Stupid Mike.
Okay, remember everything we were just saying about being okay with making mistakes?
This is what happens when we have coffee and pre-workout. And then
Hyphy.
No carbs.
Yeah, hyphy mud.
Hyphy mud. We'll put a link to that in the show notes too.
Hyphy mud.
Hyphy mud. Oh, man.
Make sure you listen to the episode before you bother with the show notes because some things might not make
Any sense.
the cut,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh, yeah. You don't think hyphy mud will make the cut?
I don't know. It's hard to say.
Okay. So, traits in successful people. We talked about humility, taking risks, owning their behaviors and thoughts,
And being willing to put in the work.
and be willing to put in the work.
Yeah, so what are two practical things? If people... Okay, those traits are great, you know? Those are things that people should try to implement, but what are practical ways that people can implement that? Like maybe 2 points.
I think
somebody can do.
I think the first point is this is strictly behavior. This isn't going to dive into the finer points and focus on how you talk to yourself. This is something you can do today, right now. First thing I would do is have your goal. Okay, what's your goal? Okay, now make a plan. Have a plan that includes a schedule, and that schedule and that plan becomes your life.
Yeah.
And you do not deviate from that.
And we talked about that. We talked about that in another episode about the systems approach.
Yeah. It's an immediate systems approach where you can just, you have a goal, cool. Now you have a system to get there.
Yeah.
Or your map, so to speak.
Yeah.
And then you follow your map.
Yeah.
If you follow your map, you're going to get somewhere.
And suppose you're a person who maybe doesn't know where to start for making a system. That's when you go and see a professional like Mike or myself. You let us help you figure out that system. So with Mike, he might set you up with a nutrition plan and an exercise schedule and all this stuff. So you then have your system on how to reach your goal. You come in with that goal of wanting to feel better, look better, or lift heavier, whatever it might be. And on my side, it might be you want to protect yourself and your family, your loved ones, and people that can't protect themselves, or maybe you want just the black belt. Maybe that's kind of been your goal, and you let me kind of. Martial arts is kind of nice that way. The system is there.
Yeah.
You just have to show up and do the work.
Yeah. Show up, do the work, and apply yourself.
Yeah. But it still takes you saying, okay, I'm going to dedicate at least 2 nights a week, for however long.
Yeah.
And even if you feel crummy that day, you still say, even if I feel exhausted after work, I'm going to go. And I can tell you honestly, that was me several times throughout my training. And it still happens time to time, but always, invariably, 100% of the time after class, I'm always glad that I went. I always feel a lot better. And it's the same way with exercise.
Yeah. Nobody ever enjoys doing slam ball.
Yeah. If you feel like you don't want to go exercise, but you still go in, you'll be glad you did afterwards.
Yeah. And
sure.
Those can be, and I think you can attest to this, when you feel like in a funk, like during the day, and you're like, I really don't want to go to Kajukenbo, and I really don't want to go for personal training or to go to the gym, and then you end up going. Sometimes those end up being the best sessions because you need it.
Yeah, it's that whole therapy piece, like we talked about previously.
Yeah. So that's the first point. Make a plan and stick to it. You can keep it simple. Write it on a piece of printer paper, blank printer paper. Just your schedule for a Monday through Friday, and then just do that for 1 month, or and then go from there.
Yeah,
and be sure to not over add to your schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So don't say, okay, I'm going to go to the gym 7 days a week for 2 hours a day, because you're going to do that for 2 days and then be like, nope, done.
Yeah.
So try this.
That burnout that we talked about.
Try 4 days a week just for 30 minutes from when you walk in the door to when you leave.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's good.
So that's a plan and sticking to it. And that's number one. So number two, what do you think? I have another option, but what do you think?
I think maybe practically. So going back to the humility piece is maybe not even to do with martial arts, nothing to do with fitness or anything like that. But when you make a mistake in life, take a second, acknowledge that you made a mistake, and then find a way to turn it into a positive or turn it around into that learning experience. So maybe you added your tip incorrectly on, you just ate at a restaurant. You added, no, that's stupid.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
Nobody tips.
See, here's a good example. Okay, I just said something dumb.
Yeah.
I don't
Classic
care.
Caleb.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me. And Mike even made fun of me.
Yeah.
Does it bother me? No. Yeah, I know that Mike is a stand-up guy and he still likes me.
Even though I'm not standing up right now. But yeah, I like Caleb, and that's why I can give him a hard time.
Yeah, and I don't let it get to me, even though, it did hurt my feelings quite a bit.
Yeah, you got those feelings, don't you?
Yeah, I'm just kidding. Anyway, what's your second thing? Because
actionable item for being successful. This is one that's going to sting, and I don't think anybody out there is going to do it. It's have your goal and have a timeline for it, and then you're going to write a check for an amount of money, and you're gonna make it out to an organization that you really hate, that you would rather die.
Oh, I've heard about that. Like somebody wrote a check to the Nazis or something, the neo-Nazis.
Yeah, and give it to a friend that is good on their word, and you tell them your goal, and you say, hey, if I don't hit my goal in on this due date or whatever, and the goal has to be specific. It can't be like I gotta be healthier. Yeah. It's got to be like I got to lose exactly 10 pounds, not 9.5, but 10 pounds,
or lift this much, or get
lift
the
this
black
much,
belt,
or whatever.
Yeah.
Be careful about it though. You don't want to. Yeah, you don't want to get yourself in trouble.
Yeah.
So start small, and write that check and give it to that friend, and make it out to that organization that you can't stand, that you think does terrible things, and if you don't make it, they're going to send that check.
Yeah, like for me, I would write a check to Tyson Farms.
There you go.
And you would write a check to Mercy for Animals. They're a vegan.
Oh.
So how's it feel?
What?
Being called out on animal murder.
Oh, that's fine. Oh, get this. For my birthday dinner, it was unintentionally vegetarian.
Really?
Yeah.
And are you happy with it?
It was really good.
What was it? What did you have?
Okay, I was really tired when Kyla was like, hey, what do you want your birthday dinner?
Was it like just straight up French fries or something?
Dang near. So it was Dutch babies, which are pretty much like German pancakes, and green bean casserole.
Oh, yum.
And German chocolate cake.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
So you're welcome.
Yeah.
No animals died.
Yeah, that's good.
For that one.
As long as you use cream of mushroom for your green bean casserole.
Instead of what? Sausage gravy?
And some people use
gross.
like a chicken stock base.
Oh, yeah. No, it was mushroom something.
I applaud you, man. And
Nice.
look, you still can lift weights.
I survived. I just did 4 sets of 8 with deadlifts. That was fun.
And the strongest man in Germany is a vegan, and the U.S. Heavy lifter at the 2016 Olympics was vegan.
They just say they are.
You don't believe them?
They get done with that interview, then they just go back and just mow down a 36-ounce steak.
You think?
No, I don't
Yeah.
think.
Maybe we should test them like they do for dope.
How do you test somebody for... never mind. We got way off topic.
Yeah.
That's what we do here.
Yeah.
We get off topic and we...
You're
have
welcome.
fun. You're welcome. So we're going to tag on one little thing. We had a question from another listener.
I'll read this one.
Okay.
Because you got to read the other one.
Okay. Caleb likes reading.
Yeah, so this is the guy that emailed us asking about high-intensity interval training and CrossFit a couple weeks back. I'm going to paraphrase his question. This listener gives a very specific rundown of some workouts that this listener does for bench press exercise. So bench press...
We all know what that is.
Okay, we don't need to explain that. Is incline or flat bench best? This listener says there's a huge debate among people at the gym the listener attends, and there's some confusion about it. Is there really a better Because to me, as an relatively inexperienced person, to me it seems like it just will change the area of the muscle group that is getting exercised.
Yeah, I'm going to answer with a question.
Okay.
What form of cardio is best?
Sex, obviously.
That's what I thought too. Yeah. So, but seriously, if you're gonna ask yourself
I get
which one is best,
I get why you're asking.
Which one is best,
Yeah.
or what is best? What's your criteria for best? If I'm gonna automatically default to weightlifting and bodybuilding, so in the sense of we want to develop everything and get a really well-rounded workout for the entire body and not just focus on one thing, then you're going to do both, and it's as simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Okay.
Do both. The incline bench press is going to work the more of the upper region of the pectorals, and flat bench press is going to work more of the
mid
just
to lower.
just the mid region.
Okay.
And it's a lot easier to go heavier on flat bench, and it's even easier to go way heavy on decline bench. So if you want to build like upper body mass, like in general, then I would go with flat.
Mm-hmm.
If you really want to get a well-rounded chestal region and build that upper chest, then go with incline. But like I said, do both.
Yeah. And so you could make it goal specific, or if you just want all around, do it all.
Yeah, do it all. I phased through incline and flat, and I used to.
Did you notice I did incline?
I did.
Yeah.
I had to move it back.
Sorry.
That's okay. No big deal. But yeah, I used to do incline and then flat and then decline. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, do it all. If you prefer one over the other, then do that one.
Yeah. That seems to be a common theme in our shows is whatever you enjoy, you're going to end up doing the most.
Yeah.
So just do that.
Yeah.
Because it's better than doing nothing.
Yeah.
Or dreading what you're going to have to do and then not doing it because you talk yourself out of it.
Yeah. So me, myself, I do flat a lot more than I do incline. I enjoy flat a lot. So I do flat bench a lot.
There you go. So it's not better.
It's not better.
It's just different.
Neither one is better than the other, and they're both different. And they're actually both really similar. So you're going to develop shoulders and chest and...
It's just what you're focusing on.
Yeah. That's it.
Well, that seems simple enough.
Well, everybody, thanks for listening.
Cool.
You've listened to us get off topic and have a lot of fun. We enjoy doing this with you guys. So if you have any questions, contact us either by email. Our email is
modernerafitnesspodcast@gmail.com.
all spelled out.
Or you can reach us on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, and our handle is...
@MEF Podcast.
That's right.
Thanks for listening, guys. You've been the best. So remember, live in a good place, keep your mind deep, and work when it's time. CrossFit sucks!
I'm going to have to cut that out. Bye, guys.
Bye. Oops, sorry, playing footsie with you.